You can also follow at Judith Cane. She's on Twitter as well. She's a wonderful money coach. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Great to have you back.
Oh, thanks for having me back.
I love the topic today. We're going to get to, because we're going to be giving away a book and everything else in a second. We are really focusing right now on our kids and teaching our kids about money.
Absolutely. So, first thing we're going to do is talk about allowances. Now, when you're giving a child an allowance, it shouldn't be related to some chores that they do around the house. They should be two completely different things. So you should give them an allowance because they need to learn how to manage money. So then if you want to say, change different things. So if you have certain chores that you have to do, then you get certain time on the computer. Okay. That's fine, but don't relate it to money.
Interesting. Because sometimes you look at it that you have to earn it.
Right.
Right? But that's not. But when you're looking at how you want to break it down and how you're going to do the different saving jars, it makes sense as to why you want to do that.
Right. Right.
Okay. So you say you're allotting them money or you're giving them allowance, but it needs to be spread out.
It needs to be spread out. You can't just sort of give them money and say, okay, it's all yours. You can go and do what you want with it. What I recommend, because it is teaching them about money, is having different jars. And so you have a spending jar, a saving jar, and then a giving jar. Because we all know at school there are skip-a-thons and there are the Terry Fox that's coming up, and the kids should contribute to their own participation in those events. So that's a really good use of the giving money.
How do you have an allotment that it's 50%, 20%, 20%?
Everybody's different. Okay. Everybody's different. If you talk to people, they'll say that you want to tithe 10%. So maybe it's 10% to giving, or some people say, nope, it's divided 3 ways. Mm-hmm. Some people even have a different, a fourth jar that's school. So they're going to start the children young, saving for some kind of post-secondary education.
Well, it's interesting because we can move from there and moving into some of the teenage years.
Yes.
And you have this gets expanded because there's a lot more things that are out there, or why they want to spend the money, or what they're spending it on. And so you still have coffee stains on your, because you actually are using these envelopes right now.
Yes, we use these envelopes. There's the coffee stains. We use these envelopes at home, but these are a good way for kids who are older, teenagers. If they don't want jars in their room, it's a good way to, maybe put the money in envelopes. Especially if they're earning money, then this is a good way for them to allocate where they're going to spend their money. So you might have a clothing budget, a clothing envelope where they put some money into clothing. They might have a Christmas, envelope because they all buy each other Christmas presents. More importantly, they might have a grad envelope because we all know that dresses and shoes and limos and whatever else they use for grad can be very expensive. So why not start saving in the early teenage years for that very important date? And then if they need to, put them in a safe place so that they're not constantly going into them again, kind of like what you do. You hide your envelopes all over the house. Now your husband knows. It's a good way for them to figure out how they're gonna spend their money.
Hopefully by that age, it's been ingrained in them, because you're saying starting early is really the key. And so allowance is one thing, but even heading to the dollar store, there's lots of little things that you could do with the younger kids.
Yes, if you're going, let's say that you're going out for Halloween is a good one, because Halloween is coming up. So you say to the kids, okay, we have a certain amount of money that we're going to spend on Halloween candy. I want you to come with me. Here's how much money we have. Let's figure out what kind of candy we're gonna buy, and make sure that we stay within our budget. And kids that are older and starting to learn really simple math can understand that if it says $10 on here and they have a $10 bill, that they know that that's what it's going to cost. Same thing with if they're going to a birthday party and they have a friend that they're buying a birthday present for. You can take them to the store and say, okay, this is how much we're going to spend on the birthday present. So you can go and look at all the toys, but we have to stay within this budget. And it's a learning experience for them, but it also gets them to understand value for what they're buying. And then the last piece I wanted to talk about is just keeping journal. It's really popular to do journaling and writing and stuff. So sometimes for teens, especially ones that are getting close to going to university, keeping a journal, and there's lots of great little budget. I just picked this one up at a bookstore.
I can't believe how broken down that is. That's a lot.
Yeah, but when kids are going to university,
turn that around so you can see that. So you got everything there.
When kids are going off to university and maybe they're not staying in residence, they're going to the second year and they're living with friends, they really need to understand what it's going to cost.
I love all the information. Of course, you've been able to package it all together in this great book. I know you were on earlier talking about it, Unstuck, how to get out of your money rut and start living the life that you want. This book is available to you, but we're also going to be giving it away today because we have a great giveaway thanks to you today.
Yeah.
And I want to get it because we have a lot. So we get the book, and then you have an enrollment in your newest workshop.
Yes, it's called Rebuilding Your Relationship with Money. People sometimes feel that money has control of them. We're going to make it so that you have control over your money.
And it's a 5-week workshop, right?
It's a 5-week workshop starting in October.
Okay, and then also you're handing in the 2 tickets to the National Women's Show.
Yes, I'm speaking at the Women's Show, so I'm very excited to have people come down to the National Women's Show.
And I do love your T-shirt.
Keep calm and call a money coach.
I love it. If you're looking to get in on the contest, Ottawa Contest at CTV.ca, Ottawa Contest at CTV.ca. Let me know one of the tips that Judith gave us this morning. Great information. Thanks so much.